Hello, everybody. This is Bart Sharp, and you are on Becoming Quantum Conscious on United Public Radio and UFO Paranormal Public Radio on 107.7 and 105.3 out of the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. We are also on cable television, aka Roku, X, Facebook, YouTube, Spreaker, and other internet platforms all around the world. And that's just so thrilling to be sitting in my little studio broadcasting out on this pre 8/8 week. In other words, on August 8th this year, we will have and I've got a little blip I have on my screen that's now it's gone away, so I can really concentrate. But tomorrow night is the big 8/8, August 8th, Lionsgate alignment. And of course, Lionsgate's portal has been open for several days. And this is a great time to make commitments to what your heart's desire is, energies, work in positive ways, meditate, do activations a whole lot, and just put it out there on the plate that this is what I am and this is what I want to become. And of course, you're going to say, I want to become more quantum conscious. You know, this is really big outer space stuff. And like tomorrow night, I am still in France. And so tomorrow night, where else would I be but Peak de Bougarache, which is the Stargate Mountain. At the base is a little town called Bougarache. And we'll be watching for UFOs passing through the night, these electric type of lights popping out of the mountain, and flashes of these really weird colors popping into the sky. And we'll all be looking at each other while we're eating fruit and chocolate bars and drinking water, saying, did you see that? Wow, that went by real fast. Wow, that was a little flash. You saw that, right? You know, and then there's all these obvious ones that are like these lights going across the sky. They're also called in World War II Foo Fighters. My brother told me that's watching it on cable television. You can either watch it on cable television, that type of stuff, or you can live it in your own life. But if you have to watch cable television, check out us on Roku. So tonight or today, we are going into outer space with Becoming Aware of Your Galactic Family with Sally Hart. So I am going to bring on Sally here. And there she is. Hey, Sally.
Hello. Hey, nice to see you.
Yeah, welcome to the show. And as we both observed earlier, we are dressed in red. And,
Matches.
and we were just talking about the Lion's Gate. Is there anything with red that's Lion's Gate associated? Do you know? Did we
I'm not
unconsciously?
sure, but I feel it's through the red energy. The vibrations are so high at the moment, aren't they? And I feel by wearing red, we're helping shine those vibrations out to people.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're intense.
Yeah.
We're both not Mary Magdalene red, which is a
No.
different type of red. Like it's kind of more darker with a little bit of violet in it. We're
Yeah.
more passionate red. Like
We
we're
are. We're
full
on
of
it.
life. Ah, yes, indeed. I guess that's the perfect for this show title, Becoming Aware of Your Galactic Family.
Yes.
Um, because as I was talking earlier, I'll be at Peak de Bougarache tomorrow night watching galactic UFOs fly across the sky and all of this stuff. So they're part of a galactic family. Uh, but why don't you tell us about your galactic family and what that means to you?
Ah. So, about maybe a couple of years ago, I did a meditation with somebody called Matt Bell. It was just him and I and a few others in a little meditation group. And I got taken on a starship. And on that starship, I received healing, and I got given a guided tour around the starship, and I got told if I wanted to go back, I could. And absolutely, yes, I was going to go back. So that night, I as soon as I went to bed, as I went back to the ship, my guide B taught me how to create a healing pod, so that now I can go back anytime. And that's something that I do with people on a regular basis. I teach people and give them the tools so they can create their own healing space on a starship as one of my offerings.
Wow.
Yes.
That we should have invited you to the Boogarage party tomorrow night.
I would have loved to have been there. As soon as you were saying it in the intro, I was like, oh my goodness, why didn't I come to France then? I want to be there. Yes,
Yeah.
I'd love to be
Well, I
there.
promise.
Yeah.
I promise you, if we both aren't busy because I do tours, and Sally has joined us on another private tour with a friend of mine because I was busy. But if we're
Yeah.
free on the same night, we got to go. I
Yes.
love going. It's amazing. So what have you
Oh,
learned
evening,
about through this
Julie.
process? Hey, Julie.
Well, so Star Family, it isn't a them and an us. Star Family work together with us, and all we need to do is to ask them, and they're there to help with healing. They're there to give information, insights, just like how we work with our spirit guides. We can work with Star Family in that way, and their energy is the most powerful but loving and generous energy. And some I want to say the word miraculous things have
Hmm.
happened. Like there was a lady that was doing Star Family Healing, and I taught her the system for doing it, and she was due to have a knee operation, and the pain dropped so low on her knee that she found she could manage without the operation. And we hear about things like that all the time. There's a lady who had it wasn't cancerous, but a mark on her arm. And after going up doing Star Family Healing, after about 3 months, the arm went, the mark on her arm went. And myself, I had frozen shoulders. And I had to have an operation. Actually, it's that one, the opposite side, that side. And I'm not very good at the camera looking both ways. I'm getting all confused. And after I'd had the operation, they said I will never be able to put my hand behind my back again. And going up for Star Family Healing, I did it every night for about 3 weeks. I remember it because it was from Yule to Christmas and just into the new year. And I can move my arms behind my back now.
Wow. Hey,
It's
Carrie.
intense. Oh, hi, Carrie. Yeah,
That's amazing. I know I have a very close friend that has a frozen shoulder that she struggled with for 20 years. So when you see these processes, I just had to ask, what do you think happens?
so what happens is, because I can see it happening when I'm doing it, facilitating it for my clients, they get balls of light. I can see them they stand in a circle around, and you're laying on your healing bed that you've created yourself, and they're using balls, and sometimes they're gridding your body with these energy balls. And one time it looked a bit like if you were looking at Metatron's cube from the top, it
Hmm.
looks a bit like that kind of grid. And then they move energetically and psychically these balls of light to the areas in which they know it's needed, and you can feel the pulsing in those areas. And it's, if lasers were balls, it's almost like that, and people can feel it happening. They feel the pulses, they feel the energy, they feel the warmth and the expansion. And then the next day they still feel better than they did the previous day. So I wouldn't say it's a cure-all, but it definitely helps. And there's a lady that I'm working with at the moment who's got quite a significant health condition. She's going up every night, and it's helping her massively.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Those are some wonderful testimonies.
Yes. Yes, they are.
And because usually when I think of ET interactions, I always, and this is kind of more my thing, I'm always thinking about, well, how can it make me more aware? have more clarity. Does that fit into the scheme of things?
Yes. So that was how I first started with Star Family Healing. And then I made connection with my guide B. And I wanted to check whether it was my ego or whether I legitimately had a guide. So I asked him where he came from. And he said, look up the planet K2b, which I did. And I met him on the 18th of September 2023. And on the 11th of September, so a week before, NASA had put something online about the James Webb Space Telescope had been exploring the planet K2 to 18b. And they found out that it was a Hycean planet. And that's exactly what B had said. He calls his planet the Golden Waters of Light.
Wow.
So that was the
So,
clarification that I knew, so that it was legit.
so this would be a corporal being, a physical being
Yes.
that
Now,
flies and transports to a ship and is close to our planet, and therefore you're able to access him easier, or are you
I go to his
going?
planet. I go to
Okay.
his planet. I can, so with the Star Family Healing, people go to the ships, but I went to his planet. It's they call it, oh, hi, Heidi. They
Hey,
call it
Heidi.
they call it the Golden Waters of Light. And when I saw the inhabitants, they remind me a little bit of mermaids in that their bodies were very fluid because they're living in water, but they can change to any shape they want. So if they want to, if somebody was unsure, they might become a human shape, or they might become like a light body shape. They can change. And what was interesting is that the way they communicate psychically, so telepathically, and you know the Akashic records, which is everything that is, was, and shall be. The water on their planet is the Akashic equivalent of the Akashic records.
Wow.
So things are stored, memories are stored in their golden waters, and then when their vibration is high enough, they can access certain levels of this knowledge. It's
Wow.
insanely interesting. And he predicted there's a bit of unrest going on in the UK at the moment. About 18 months ago, he said in 18 months all of this stuff's going to happen. It's now happening. He's predicted everything so far. So you can ask questions. I did for a little bit on Facebook. I'm on Sally Hart on Facebook if anyone wants to find me. People used to message in questions, and then when I had a chance to channel, I would ask him the questions and put the answers on my Facebook.
Yeah, from what I gather, you're very altruistic about a lot of things. You give a lot of stuff away as
Yeah,
kindness and
yeah,
gratitude. And at the same time, you're working to pay your bills with
yeah,
all of this stuff, which
yeah.
we all have to do. And yes, I agree, Heidi. Love that. Resonates deep too with the water.
Thanks, Heidi.
And I have a great water question for you later. We're going to get back there. I don't want to, but I'm fascinated with water. And I'm going to sneak a little question about water
Go
in.
on
But
then, go
doesn't
for it.
do they say some of the same things about our own water that they are experiencing on their water?
Yes, they do. It is the
Wow.
same. Yes, it is. The problem is that we have never really understood until now the potential of water and what it can really do. You know, like crystals were getting big in the 60s and 70s, and it was then that people really
Oh
began to
yes.
understand. And then in the 80s, it was unicorns. In the sort of 2000s, it was dragons. And now it's water. So finally, we've got to water. So it's now that this kind of stuff is really getting out there. And there are groups that are forming near me, near the New Forest, working together to clean the sacred springs and clean the sacred wells, because people are beginning to realize if you get pure, clean, natural water, you can connect to the energy of water and the water is like the Akashic Records, because water has been in our planet forever. So it has seen all the rituals, it's seen all the magic, it's seen people's daily lives, it's seen the Industrial Revolution, it's seen the Civil War, it's seen everything, and it has, just like the trees have that wisdom, water also has that wisdom. And all we need to
Yes.
do is to connect.
Your your voice is going in and out a little bit. Maybe you're backing forth a little bit. I don't know.
Sorry, I'll try and move forward. I'm getting excited.
Oh, yes, you are. Calm down, girlfriend, because it's already obvious that you pack a big punch on a psychic level, and you're just going to rewire my computer if we don't watch it. So
Okay.
uh, I just think I'll tell a story because it'll help you calm down.
Okay.
I went to Ireland looking for the path of the Atlanteans because I really felt the Atlanteans were in England and Ireland. Um, and I have felt Atlantean presence in England more than once, more like spirit beings. Go to Ireland thinking, oh, I'll get to learn more of their documentation by touching menhirs and dolmens and doing all of those things that Ireland's so full of. Nothing happened. Then I went to one of their wells and put my hand in the water and started asking about Atlantean past. And of course, you know, water saying, yeah, I'm connected with past, present, and future. It's like,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
it's so amazing. Now, we might want to bump ahead a little bit. I asked
Okay.
Sally 3 questions on the show, and one of them was related to water. And since we're on topic of water, I'm going to ask the question, but we'll go through the other 2 questions later on the show. If
Okay.
anybody knows me, they know I ramble. Hopefully, they like rambling type of guys. So here's the question: does water have a consciousness? And if so, how can we use it to expand our own consciousness?
So, even though I do work with water, I channeled my guide B. I channeled this 2 days ago. So I'm just going to read what he said.
All
Water
right.
has a consciousness. It contains the memories and wisdom of times past, the rituals, the spells, the magic, but also acts as a memory of events of everyday people. By communicating with water, you can get information about past events. Water acts as a library which stores information which you can access. On your planet, if you sit in a natural stream which is as unpolluted as possible, difficult on your planet where water's role isn't recognized and is overlooked, and you meditate and really connect with the essence of water, you'll be able to psychically communicate or feel into the energy of the water and receive messages. On my planet, we're surrounded by water and live in water, and we use it to communicate, hold our memories like an organic computer network, and access different realms psychically. You too can connect to those on higher vibrations. Immerse yourself in clean water and allow your soul to reach out through the liquid and connect to the souls of other higher realm beings. You can ask water to help heal you. You can activate it and take on the energy of the moon, for example, in rituals. All this water offers to us as a gift, which is freely available to all.
Wow. So, in essence, we could start doing rituals with maybe a cauldron or bowl of water and asking these consciousnesses to come in and activate the water itself
Yes, but the
and
water
then
needs to be.
return it to a larger body of water.
Yes. Now, there are people who've started doing this. People that I know are getting sacred pure water from like Glastonbury, doing a
Hmm.
ritual and
Let's tell
releasing it
everybody
into
what
watercourses and
Glastonbury.
wells.
Would you explain what Glastonbury is about, though, before we do that?
Oh, thanks, Heidi. Um, Glastonbury is a sacred site. For me, I'm work with Mary Magdalene a lot, hence I've got my painting of Mary Magdalene up there, that my lovely psychic artist friend Corrine did for me. So Glastonbury is where I believe Yeshua learnt to be able to do the regeneration needed to appear to die on the cross and to rise again. Those chambers are deep under this big hill called the Tor. There is still the white spring there and the red spring there, and many miracles happen to people who've bathed in the white spring and have drunk the waters of the red or the white spring. Glastonbury's been a pagan is a pagan site. People have gone there for many thousands of years. Joseph of Arimathea stayed there after dropping Mary Magdalene off in France, and it's a really special, energetic place. And Yeshua actually went there to learn from the Druids. Between the ages of 12 and maybe the 20s, I'm not quite sure where,
Yeah.
but he went to learn from the Druids.
And in the water holds all of those memories of
Yes.
the chalice or the grail,
Yes.
or a lot of those legends. It's still
Yes.
very powerful. But going back to these rituals, I want to go back to that. For example, I'm Lionsgate's tomorrow night. We could be connecting with the cosmos and asking rituals of the cosmos or the extraterrestrial friends to come down, be with us as we hold the water, and ask the water to hold that, and maybe the water in our own bodies.
Yes. Yes, because I've got that through once that he said that water, our bodies contain 77% water, which is an interesting number because people do say that it's about 70%, but he actually said 77%. And when we get in water, because our body is so much made of water, that's how come water makes it easy for us to connect to higher vibrational beings and to meditate and to do rituals.
So we want to say my water can be shared with your water.
Yes.
And give
And
her
that's
permission.
right. Right. And that's what we need to be doing. We need to be spreading this. This needs to be shared. People need to know. It needs to get out there.
It does.
Yeah.
Wow. By the way, sometime in September, we'll have Alethea Sophia back on the show. And what that show will be about is water. So we're going to go deeper and deeper into this, into her beautiful hotel with her husband, Pete Wilson, called Le Conte, nearby Chateau de Montsegur. I'll give a spot for those folks because it's a great hotel. But more and more importance is put upon water. And so it's just so timely you're talking about this. Thanks, Julie. And
That's beautiful, Julie.
yeah, thanks, Heidi.
Oh,
Yeah, so when we talk about your beings, you know, what this is a theory that we have in Bugarash, or since I've learned about France, I don't think many people talk about it. Only a few people talk about it. That there are like these galactic families. Like for me, I'm Lyran from
yeah, me too.
Lyra, and cool. Do you think that and then there's Arcturus, Pleiades, yada yada yada? Is the people you uh, have this relationship? Are they part of those tribes of
That is
extraterrestrial visitors?
that is not a question I've ever asked, but that is something I really do need to ask. I didn't even think of asking that question. But the answer it's got to be yes, really, hasn't it? It's got to be a yes because
My water says yes.
yeah,
No, but
I feel it too.
I just do it like a muscle testing. It feels very
Yes,
true.
it does. It
Yeah,
feels, it resonates, doesn't it, Bart? Yeah.
it does. Maybe I'll see them tomorrow night at the Booger Rush. I don't know.
Yay. That's so exciting.
It is. And if anybody's in the area and they're here tomorrow night in the Odd region in France, go out to Booger Rush, go out to the lake, and I'll be on the tank dam looking at this Buddha's head and seeing the light show. It's best to come before sunset, so you don't get lost in the dark. Uh, yeah. So it's just a wonderful world. And how did it change you when you kind of like, it's kind of like surprise, you having a new awareness and your life's going to change. How did that change your life?
Are you talking
What is
about
your,
general
what,
awakening?
yeah, and what does your husband say? He's like, what are you doing now, Sally?
Okay, so I've always been psychic,
Okay.
um, and I've always had quite a few skills in that area.
All right.
And
So he was
then
prepared.
yeah, I didn't. Do you know what? I didn't come out of the closet. I only came out of the closet about 8 years ago, the spiritual closet,
Uh-huh.
because first of all, I thought everyone could do it, and then I didn't know anyone else who could do it, and I started getting these visions, and I was having to give messages to people, just random people in the street. And then a friend said, you need to go to this lady called Shirley, who became my mentor. And I had a few weeks learning to channel and connect. And then after that, it was just like you just said, the doors just opened. And yeah, my husband initially, I see now I was a teacher. I've given up teaching and I do this as my job now.
You seem to
Um,
have a teacher's voice.
yeah, probably I'm going to tell you, right, tell you off in a minute. Um, and he has always supported me in it. And recently, I think he's begun to sort of believe it, but he didn't at first, but he doesn't
Mm,
believe in Star Family or me
yeah.
connecting with Mary Magdalene or anything, but he just supports me in it because he loves me. And this, where I'm working now, is a cabin, and he built this for me out of his
Mm.
bare hands. So
But
I
he's
can't
getting the
fault
vibration,
him.
and he's the
Yeah.
support, and he does probably see something really different in you. And
Yes.
what are some of those differences you've noticed that you would like to share?
I'm a lot more relaxed, weirdly, even though I know you think I'm hyper, but I'm a bit more relaxed. Um, I'm less judgmental and I'm more open to going with the flow. I think that's the big thing, to just trust
Mm,
that the universe has it sorted, and it does.
mm, mm.
And that it takes a weight off your shoulders because you don't need to worry anymore.
Yeah. Does it feel like it's almost like a cleansing? Like, I mean, I did a lot of shamanic work to cleanse emotions out of my body, unravel the stories, unravel the shadows, become more embodied, bring my shadows back clean and clear. Does it feel like some of that process is happening as well?
I felt that I needed to become more embodied. So I qualified as a trauma informed women's somatic coach. And
Whoa.
now, yes, I'm just doing my case studies at the moment, and then I'll be accredited. And it's a year's course. And yes, that idea of, yes, you meditate, you connect with the universe, you connect with spirit, you
But you
treat your
also
body
connect with
well,
you connect with your body, and more
but you
particularly your
connect with your
gut.
body. Exactly. And that's the
Yeah,
thing. When it's society's kind of taken it out of us in a way, because when we're little, you as a child, you'd feel in your gut, oh no, I really don't want to do that, I really don't want to. And then your parents go, oh no, come on, it's good for you, you really need to be doing XYZ. And you almost get trained out of being embodied. And now we're needing to learn to put that back. So your gut
exactly.
goes first and your brain comes second.
And so much about somatic approach is done by therapists
Yes.
and counselors. It's a great approach. I
Yes.
use a lot of those tools in somatic experiences. We had Joseph Mock on last week, and he does internal family systems, which is very somatic approach. He's very
Yes.
Buddhist, so it's kind of a hot tool these days of getting in touch with the body. I'm just yours is a very unique combination because you're saying, let me get in touch with my gut and all of this stuff, and at the same time, I'm I'm traveling to the other side of the universe.
Yeah. It's a beautiful recipe to be honest. So I do, I give psychic readings, healings. I work with Mary Magdalene, and now I have it. The reason I chose to qualify as a somatic coach also was that some people felt great after my sessions, and then they wanted more. And the idea is, if we can then embed it in our bodies and really embody that healing and release the trauma from our body, that's the final piece in the jigsaw. And
It
then what I can
is.
offer people is the whole thing. Yeah.
Wow. That is a wonderful approach. I'm totally like, yeah. It's funny when we've talked and
Yeah.
over this to prepare for the show, but I don't know. You totally surprised me in a lot of ways that you are going into the astral realms, far
Yeah.
out there in
Yes.
a spaceship. Is
Yes.
been, I don't want to say abducted, but you've been given a free ride out to outer
Yeah.
space, uh, and and you're coming from that point of view. This is beyond channeling. This is more like, no,
Yes.
you have a gateway or that just zooms you out to that place and the
Yes.
connection is there.
Yes.
And let me tell everybody listening that this is Sally Hart, and you can get in touch with her for healings and expansive consciousness and workshops, or the kind of the list. She's long of what she does, but it's
Yes.
Heaven to Heart, and that's HEAVEN, then the number two, Heart, HEART, www.heaventoheart.com. So
Thank you.
check her out. She's very available. She's very, the thing that I get about you is kind and generous. And I think when you start to get to this evolution, uh, kindness and generosity is a common concept that people have with that.
Yeah.
Clear to see that you've been tweaked and you worked on your own stuff and had this wonderful combination. Also, I'd like to say that my name is Bart Sharp, and you are on Becoming Quantum Conscious. And you are listening to United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 107.7 and 105.3 out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And also, you can see us on Roku Cable, X, Facebook, YouTube, and other internet platforms. And so just had to get that out, our call letters. And we're so grateful
Thanks,
that,
Heidi.
yes, that uh, if you're listening to the UFO Paranormal Network, I'm usually about becoming quantum conscious. And I was kind of thrilled, like, oh, I'm going to be like everybody else and have UFO stuff. Um, and you're just right in camp with this, but you're so much cooler because you're doing healing and consciousness work, which is
Yeah.
what becoming quantum conscious is all about.
Yeah.
So I'm just totally enamored
Oh,
um, with how you're presenting your life. Um, you mentioned Mary Magdalene before,
yeah.
and I just went to this summer to St. Baum, the caves of St. Baum and Maximilian St. Baum, where they hold a skull there in a crypt. They say it's Mary Magdalene's skull. People will argue till the cows coming home that yes, it is. No, it isn't. I went more as, well, I don't know. Um, yes, Heidi. Michelle, I want to give a spin for Michelle Derbyshire. Michelle Derbyshire is basically of the outer realm, is a major badass in the alien, ET, UFO, and all of that stuff world. She's most amazing. Just check her out. Um, so thanks for bringing that up, Julie. So here we got the skull of Mary Magdalene, or somebody that could be Mary Magdalene. And the impressions I got is that she was space traveling like buku times, and that's what the cave felt like. And wondered, do you have any impressions upon what that is and what your relationship with MM is all about?
Okay, I want to first talk about Mary Magdalene and her being a space traveler. So this it was an account that I did about how I got introduced to my guide B. So this is what I wrote down on the 18th of September 2023. Last night before going to bed, Mary Magdalene took me to the depths of the ocean where it was deep and cold and I felt like I was having a panic attack. So she put dolphins around me and I cuddled one. And then she put something near my third eye, which looked like it was made of copper. And then it went through my third eye, and there was a copper shaped drawing pin shaped thing in the cosmos, and that was joined by wire. And together, they joined myself with the cosmos, and bubbles of golden energy were surrounding the wire, and it was a living connection to the star family. And it was Mary Magdalene who put me in touch. And it was this thing where wire was coming out my third eye, wire was in the cosmos, and I was able to connect to both. And after that, it was like a phone line, an old fashioned landline to connect to star family. So she absolutely does travel. Now, the other thing is I facilitate Mary Magdalene groups. I do 4 a week in my cabin here. And I do one online on a Sunday evening if people are interested. And
Could they get in touch with that at
find me, yeah, find
heaventoheart.com?
on Heaven to Heart. Yeah, you can message me there, and it's got details of my Sunday evening meditation group, and it's basically a Mary Magdalene group. I've been doing them for about going on 2 years now.
Cool.
And what was my train of thought with it? Yes.
The wires in
And
the phone and
yeah, and then when we connect to Mary Magdalene, often there's a starship above the house. And in that, they call themselves the Divine Feminine Collective. And there's Guan Ying, there's White Calf Buffalo Woman, there's Mary Magdalene, sometimes Yeshua, Joan of Arc. And there's a collective of the Divine Feminine in a starship. Sometimes there's the Hathors, some of the Hathors are there, star beings who I don't know who they are, but I know they're star beings and I could, describe them to you. And she is there in a starship sometimes, and I know that sounds really out there, but that is legitimately what the ladies and myself see when we're doing these meditations.
wow. So you get a lot of visual limitations, and we have Carrie Langdock
Really,
agree
really,
with
I
that Bart.
agree.
I believe Anna, Mother Mary, Jesus, and
Yes,
his most holy family were star consciousness travelers. Jesus being
yes,
the ultimate universe consciousness in human form.
absolutely.
Yeah, and Annie Grandmother of Jesus by Claire Hartson, one of the real groundbreaking books
Yes,
in this type of consciousness. She said, or it was channeled through the voice of Anna. Jesus went to India, lived in a cave for a long period of time, and channeled Babaji, and was traveling all about the stars, which I thought was amazing that he had that type of expanded consciousness, and that was part of what expanded him so much.
yes,
And he brought it back into his body, I'm guessing.
yes. And he came from the stars because he was divinely created, using parthenogenesis. So he was created with, there wasn't a male and a female. It was Mary created him using, star family, using the energy, the divine consciousness, that Christos light, didn't she? Going back as far as Sarah conceiving Isaac, it goes back that far that women did this.
Hmm, so cool. It really
Yeah.
does. It's quite amazing. Which, yeah. So maybe Mary Magdalene just did it in her later years
Yeah.
after she had to do more practical work. But
Yes.
also, Claire Hartson says that Mary Magdalene, some Essenes, and other people, including Yeshua, all lived at the base of Bugarash. which I get this feeling of where that would be. It's not where I'm going to be tomorrow night, but it's very close. Uh, and maybe they were doing those same things. They were getting that connection
Yeah.
with that. It's just, we never know. Um, but let's move
Yes,
along to
Carrie.
another uh, topic. Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah,
Because
thanks. Yeah, you're right.
we have two more questions, and I'm looking at the clock, and I want to get these two questions in. This is so much fun doing this with you, Sally. So this is a question. So I wrote these questions, sent them to Sally, and she wrote out the answer so uh, she could really be centered with that. How can an individual human help humanity change to a higher consciousness?
So, so the question I had was, how can an individual help humanity? What's the biggest picture that people should be working towards becoming? So this is what I asked B, and this is what I got through.
Good.
An individual has the power within to help others. By being true to yourself and acting in integrity, you can help many people. But if you unite with others and find your tribe, you can reach so many more. A drop of water can nourish a bee, but a lake can feed a village. Find the others. Find those whose beliefs match your own. Join with them so you can make a difference in the world. Once the first stone is thrown in the water, the ripples will continue to spread out. Becoming at one with others is the goal. Spreading harmony rather than hate, joy rather than sadness. Treat others as your sister or brother, and this ripple effect will increase and help bring peace in these rocky times. The biggest picture is one of unity, where people are joined together by what they have in common rather than their differences. There is power in when you all join together, working towards a common goal of acceptance, inclusion, and high vibration.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I love it. Uh, and
Oh,
I'm,
wow, Heidi.
wow, that's really interesting. Thank you, Heidi. You had the same type of message.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. Thank you. Uh, so I want to ask this next question, and then I'm going to come back to the Yeshua thing. I got a
Okay.
burning question. Maybe I'll do that
I
now.
love it. Go on then.
Because you're doing a lot what Yeshua was doing. Yeshua was pulling in basically the universe into his body, making
Yes.
himself so big. And so as you bring in this relationship and they're bringing it into you and you're cleaning your stuff out of your body,
Yeah.
like your anger and your shame and emotions like that,
Yeah.
the space must be getting pretty big inside of you.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yes. I just feel since doing this inner work, but do you know what? I don't want to call it work. It's more like inner opportunities because
Yay.
everything you bring out there's a lesson there, and it's not, oh, I told you so kind of lesson. It's helping you not be triggered by other things in the future. Um
Or
and that
present.
Yeah, yeah. And when other triggers come along that in the past would have triggered you, they're not the fuel, the fire's gone from them. So by doing this inner exploration, I feel it's the most powerful gift you can give to yourself.
Mm,
And obviously, it doesn't end there. You go through a bit of a plateau, and then more comes your way. And I'm heading into the more coming my way thing at the moment for the next bit of work that's coming through. Um, but the more you do that, the more your consciousness and your vibration raises, and the more connected you become, not just to spirit and to Yeshua and to Star Family, but to others. And then you're able to shine your light bright and others see that in you and they are drawn to you because you've got what they would like and they want help getting that for themselves, so you can show them the way.
Wow.
And that's how it works, in my opinion.
Well, that is a wonderful summary of how it works. And to figure your light into space inside of you that's probably just full of all of this light of the universe, these beings, and all of this stuff, minus a lot of your own personal childhood traumas and other belief systems.
Yeah.
You just become a big energetic being, and you're
Yeah.
connecting, and you're finding like people, and people are coming to you. And one of the
Yes.
things that always impressed me with you is the two times we really met is just your willingness to help everybody. Uh, it was really impressive, and now I understand it better about where you're coming from. Because
Yeah.
Sally was thinking about doing a tour with me, and she's going, "Well, these two people really can't afford your prices. So how can we make a tour that really matches them?" And and now I understand how much that was just a sincere caring. On the other side of that would be kind of enabler, like everybody should see Mary Magdalene, but this is a caring for everybody, and you seem to be crossing over to that other side because there's a shadow and a light with every issue.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is that tricky thing, isn't it? It's helping others to see the light, but without draining yourself and without, like you said, becoming an enabler. And that is that balance, isn't it?
It
Um,
is.
I went on this circle run by this lovely lady called Kirsty D. I'm going to name drop her because she's amazing. I never do things for myself, and I went to one once a couple of months ago. And what she said was that, you talk about pouring from an empty jug and people are constantly giving. She said, the deal is what you're meant to do is to try and fill your jug with water so that it overflows onto a saucer below, and then you give people from that saucer so you never deplete yourself in order to help others.
Wow.
And that's what I really, and having you say that about the balance, I know that this is my next mission. This is my next work, my
may your cup
opportunity.
may your cup runneth over, and it's like that's so well explained. It's running over because it's to be shared
Yes.
in a bountiful place, but you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Which leads us to the last question.
Mm.
That's so beautiful, by the way. Gosh. Um, what is mankind's mission with planet Earth?
So again, this is channeled from B the other day. So I think this is quite beautiful. Yeah. Anyway, you are divine beings. You all have the spark of the creatrix and the creator within you. You all chose to come to this earth to learn lessons and help mankind. By understanding this purpose, you are bringing the higher vibrational energy to the earth and enabling the community consciousness to raise and ascend to higher levels. Your presence is bringing in the age of Aquarius and enabling people to live in the golden future now. By embodying the light and shining it out into your world, you are beacons which will multiply and expand and bring in the new world, a paradigm shift. You are the bringers of the new earth. You are the people who can act as anchors in these choppy times and remain steadfast, knowing that a glorious new way of being is coming. You are the safe hands at the tiller as people navigate these new seas and oceans. In the meantime, you are the protectors of your beautiful planet and its people. My love is with you all. B.
Wonderful. And it just gives that great message. Just keep doing the work, people. Keep
Yeah.
making your light bigger, shining it forth. Be full in yourself. Let your cup run over to where you really have something amazing to offer out to the world. And we have Carrie saying very similar messages downloaded to me in 95, 99. 2009, with the expanding of online connections, I started being able to find and connect to the tribe now that I'm next stepping into physically moving to a community. South France, certainly. Maybe Sedona part-time. Wonderful. We'd love to have you
Beautiful.
come down into the neighborhood, Carrie. Can't wait. Um, Also, going to ask you one last question.
Sure.
Where do you think you're going? What's your next interest? What are you interested in? It's like the next evolution for Sally Hart, where you can find her at www.heaven2heart.com.
So I've just birthed, or in the process of birthing, this goddess alchemy course. And it's to do with being able to connect to our inner goddess, work with the divine feminine, and do somatic practice. So I've put it all together into a 6-week course, which I'm doing at the moment with some groups, and then I'll start doing it online as well. So I'm doing a bit of a dummy run. Also, I was away in Norfolk a couple of weeks ago, and Mary Magdalene was very keen on me channeling. So I went away for a few hours, and I've got through maybe 3/4 of an oracle card deck, which are messages. It's going to be called Messages of Love from Mary Magdalene. So I should be getting those published. And then after that, who knows? We shall see. I'd love to do a podcast or do something like that but I'd like the idea of working with somebody else or collaborating, and that's something I'm looking into too. So we shall
Wonderful.
see.
Yeah. I think the bigger you make your energy, more opportunities come to you. You know, they happen. Of course, you can't stay in your house and be isolated all the time. You have to get
No.
out in the world and connect to make that happen. There's a practicality to it. But
Yes,
big energies attract big things.
that's good. I love that. Big energies
Yes.
attract big things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't mean being famous or anything like that.
Oh,
You can just be a great person. And, uh, you know, we all have this interesting thing. I've been writing about the wild feminine myself. Uh,
mm,
and this, that to me, it's about a wildness of spirit where
yeah.
the child connects with the feminine and it all grows in this energetic world.
I would like to say that what I would, do you know what my dream would be? I would love to have a
Yes,
bigger reach, because what I want is to be able to empower people to connect to spirit, to connect to star family themselves. What I really would love is when newbies, people who are newly awakened, I would love them to be able to come to people like myself who can give them the tools to do it for themselves, rather than this guru thing that's still going on. Oh, if you pay me, I'll open your third eye, I'll activate activate your chakras. What I would love is for there to be a bit of a switch around, so that people don't go to other places, to be activated, to be connected. They go to people so that they learn the tools to do it for themselves, so they are in control of their own destiny. That is what I would love the most.
that's a wonderful dream. I think it's a dream of the new paradigm showing
Yeah.
up. And with that said, I want you to think about a message you would like uh,
Yeah, that's it,
to
Carrie.
share.
Thanks,
Uh,
Heidi.
I'm just pressing all of these. Thanks, Heidi and Carrie, for all of this feedback. I want to give the call letters while you think about what would you like to give a final message to the world. And everybody, you have been listening to Sally Hart at www.heaven2heart.com. I am Bart Sharp. You are on Becoming Quantum Conscious. Our internet connection is getting a little funky. And it is a United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 107.7 and 105.3 out of New Orleans. And you're on Roku, X, Facebook, YouTube, and others. And next week, we will have Gina Starbuck on the show talking about dancing with tremendous creativity.
Yay.
So, what's your final message, Karen?
I think it's about living unapologetically. It's about not having to fit a mold, going out and doing your thing the way you want to do it. There's so much power in that and being your true, authentic self and just going for it. That's where it's at.
Short and sweet, to the
Yeah.
point, and wonderful.
I just
Wow.
feel that, particularly with women, we're kind of forced to be put into molds. And social media, you've got to be the best mom, you've got to be, the best at work, you've got to be looking like this, doing that. Just be yourself and just go for it. Who cares what other people think? Yes, Heidi, that's it. Being your true, authentic self. And once you've done that, you're in alignment, you're in the flow, abundance will come, you're ready to receive,
Yeah.
basically.
And you
That's
got a lot of joy in your body.
yeah. Yeah, that's it,
Indeed.
isn't it? It is. Find the
Indeed.
joy.
Well,
That's what I
thank you.
challenge you all to do. Find the joy.
Yes, a good party wisdom there. Thank you so much for being on the show, Sally. It's been such a pleasure getting to visit with you.
It's been absolutely joyful. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been wonderful. Thanks so much, Bart.
All right, so we're going to see everybody next week and wishing everybody the best.